welcome to my second My Wellbeing video. So I'm working in collaboration with Planet Mercy and Medina Institute to bring you some general mental health and wellbeing information. Now, following on from our first video, a lot of people have said to me that actually they really struggle to make time for themselves and their well-being, and they didn't realise how difficult actually it would be just to have time out for themselves. So I thought I'd put a short video together just to share a technique or two that I sometimes use in my one-to-one work to get people to start thinking about actually how can I start to make a bit more time for myself. So what you're going to need for today's video is a blank piece of paper and something to write with. Okay, I'm just using a marker only so that you can see a bit more clearly. Then what I'd like you to do, just to draw 2 circles. They don't need to be perfect. And then just fold a piece of paper, okay, into half. And what I say to people is, so if you draw this onto one of your circles, if in an ideal world this is how our lives would be split, okay? So a quarter of the time would be at work, a quarter of the time would be for family, a quarter of the time would be with your partner, so if you're married or in a relationship, and a quarter of the time would be me time, so time that you might spend on yourself. Once you've done that, on the other side, so on the other circle, just have a think about how your time is actually split. Okay, so I'm just going to do mine. So that's how my life is currently split at the moment. Okay, half of my time is spent in my paid job. Perhaps a quarter of my time it's spent outside of work doing mental health stuff, and then the other quarter is actually spent between family and time for myself. That time for myself will also include time with my friends, so that when you open it up you'll see the ideal. I'm just going to write this on. So in an ideal world, this is how my day would be split. But in actual fact, this is how it's split. So then we have to think about how can we move from here a bit more towards here. So what are some of the things that you can do to balance things out for yourself? Perhaps thinking about spending a bit more time with your partner if you're not spending much time with them. So having protected time, so actually planning something and doing something together. Okay. A lot of people spend a lot of time at work. I've known people, I mean for me this is voluntary, but I've known people to spend the bulk of their time in their paid job, only because there's a lot of demands being placed on us at the moment in work, and a lot of people are putting in extra hours just to keep on top of the workload. But what that is doing is actually going into the rest of your time, so time that you could have for yourself, for your family, for your friends, it's actually eating into that time. So sometimes you have to think about how can I spend slightly less time at work, because then that will give us the capacity to do a bit more of these other things. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is do this and start thinking about how can we move from where you're at now more towards this ideal. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it's just to get us to think how can we get a bit more of a balance in our lives. So I'm going to leave it there for today's video. I was going to say today's session because that's what I would do in my one-to-one work, and I'll let you guys have a think and let me know how you get on. Send me some feedback because that will help me plan the next video. So if I share information with you and you try and follow it and then feed back to me, it gives me an idea what to do for my following video. Now, my videos are not a replacement for therapy. I'm just sharing some general information with you. Okay, but if you are struggling with your mood, it's okay. There is support and help available. Book an appointment to see your GP, or some local mental health services now allow you to self-refer. You don't even need to see your GP. Now, if you are having thoughts of hurting yourself or ending your life, that's okay. It's quite common with people with depression and anxiety. So what you need to do is just think about if you're going to act upon those thoughts. And if you think you're going to act upon those thoughts, then I'd strongly recommend you see your GP. Call 999 or get yourself down to A&E. You can also call the Samaritans on 116 123. Okay, that's a 24-hour helpline, so they do have volunteers around the clock. Sometimes we just need someone to speak to, don't we? But it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but we're in distress and we're upset and we're down and there's no one else around. But actually you can ring them and their volunteers are all trained to deal with these things. Like and share my video so it also benefits other people. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, and I look forward to catching up with you hopefully next week or the week after for my follow-on video, because I like to give it some time to allow you to consolidate some of the stuff that I'll be sharing with you and to start thinking about the next video. And you take care and good luck with it all. Bye.